Just here to let you guys know before it's too late. I've been trying to make it clear for a long time now, but digital compact point and shoots are freaking back. I don't know if any of you guys have seen, there's been a lot of talk going around finally about Digicams, but not only that, but just the importance of a compact point and shoot that isn't your phone. I just thought I would make a quick little video to let you guys know why I think carrying a compact digital point and shoot camera is essential in this day and age. You know, being born in the early 90s and growing up throughout the 90s and the early millennia, I got to see the phase out of the analog cameras and the tapes. You know, I've got countless tapes from old family, vacations and gatherings and birthday parties and events and at the school or plays and talent shows, you name it. My family was filming it and archiving it. And I can carry that to this day, even though we've moved on from this. Well, maybe we haven't specifically moved on from that medium. We certainly are moving forward, and that medium is seemingly being left behind. Thankfully, through modern technology, we have a lot of options to save and bring forth those mediums into our modern digital mediums. But I'll say it's weird being a father and making so many amazing memories that I catch my wife specifically, but I sometimes even pull out my phone to capture that memory rather than making sure that it's not just on the cloud somewhere. Or, it's just different whenever you're carrying around something with a physical card at the very least. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, or it's probably a lot more than just me, because this is clearly becoming a pretty known statement that we're trusting the cloud a little too much. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I don't pay my internet bill. Either I want to detox from the Wi-Fi waves, or maybe it's just that, times are tough sometimes, and Wi-Fi is the first, non-essential to go for a month without. There were times where it's not what I wanted, and I wasn't prepared for not having Wi-Fi. And I look around and I didn't have much to entertain myself with. Heck, even the video game systems these days, like my son's Xbox One X, they've got us paying for the Game Pass because it's got all those new games, and it's such an easy convenience, But then if you don't have Wi-Fi, let's say you just want to take it somewhere outside of the house, you better have Wi-Fi. That kind of stuff is just weird to me. And so over the past few years, I've been heavily investing in physical media, making sure that my family has a library of, DVDs, VHS, books, of course, comics, obviously ways of expressing ourselves through physical media like art supplies. And, obviously we've got physical game media like PS2s, Wii, all the offline systems. And then we also, have board games and all that stuff. So obviously not falling victim to the Matrix is important to me. I don't know if it's important to you guys, but it is to me. And Digicams and compact point and shoots have seemingly saved so many of my memories from just falling into the void. Not that I couldn't save photos from my phone if I needed to, but I don't know if you guys remember, it's just a couple years ago, but Facebook randomly just deleted everybody's photos that weren't saved to an album. And I don't know about you guys, but I and a lot of my family members lost a lot of photos that we just kind of didn't realize that was the only place that they were being stored, whether on old phones that we can't access anymore, or whether it was just that we trusted that was somehow going to be immortalizing these memories, which clearly that's not how you immortalize a memory. We don't have to save every memory, and that's not what this is all about. Take a picture and a video of everything, never stop filming, and make sure that it's off the cloud and it's not in the Matrix. That's not what I'm saying. Where's my tinfoil hat? No, I'm just kidding. So I usually carry a pocket camera everywhere I go. This is the main camera that I carry around with me, and I've been excited to make a video on it. It's been a long process. I just want to be sure that it's a good one for you guys. I think I may have built the ultimate compact point and shoot. This is a Sony RX100 Mark VI. it is incredible. It's got everything I could possibly need. 4K, in-body stabilization, 4K 60, 1080, I think it gets up to 120 at least. Well, I know it gets up to 120 at least. It's got an incredible image. It takes great photos, I think 24 megapixels. So clearly it's by all standards, it's a modern camera. I'd love to, but I'm not going to tell you what all I've done to modify it to be the ultimate compact point and shoot that it is. But I'm telling you, you want something like this instead of your iPhone for a lot of reasons. I'll say if I had to, there's been a lot of times where I've had important things going on, but I couldn't just carry my freaking, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera or my Ursa or my freaking GH5 or, that's why I got the G7 as like a potential, like slightly bigger compact, but it definitely seems like, as far as if I'm not trying to compromise and I'm trying to get the best possible image and control, I grab that every time, and it beats my iPhone a million times over for several reasons. Obviously, any competent individual with a modern iPhone can get a solid image, especially with the new Blackmagic app and whatnot. But it's not exactly what this is all about. This is about having control, and I'd say that that's the camera that gives me the most control. When I'm not as concerned about control, but I still want as much control as I can without really trying to think too much about it. I do carry, I don't know if you guys have seen the video I have made about this, but I will link it above over here. This is the Canon Powershot S95. And I noticed that I do tend to, as far as the slim compact cameras that I carry with me, if it's not, my Sony, usually the Sony RX100 Mark VI is something I grab whenever I am not going to grab another big camera, but I would really like to. But whenever I do have like my GH5 or my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with me or something like that, I like to grab something like this, this is the Canon PowerShot ELPH 135. Now this tiny little compact digital point and shoot is the Canon PowerShot SD780IS. Yeah, SD780IS. I can't express enough how thankful I am for this camera. I've spent $20. Maybe I think I got it for 10. I say it in the original video. I'm not exactly certain. Either way, I'm pretty sure it was listed for 20. The battery was swelled up inside of it and it didn't work. But I knew I had an identical battery at home that did work, and I offered him 10. Either way, came with the box, the charger, and everything. And no joke, this camera is what brought so many of you guys to my channel. Not that I have very many returning viewers, but it showed me not only that these little compact point shoots do have power and they are capable of capturing memories and instilling a certain vibe that not every camera can, but also it's so freeing, It's so freeing. This is the camera that I started this channel on. The Kodak C613, I think. Easy Share C613. It surprised me so much. This one I got for $5 at a pawn shop, and I was blown away by how clear and clinical the images were. I was expecting that classic, low poly digital look, but I was shocked by the way that this camera renders images. That was the first video I ever made. Now, whenever I'm trying to carry around something that takes specifically bad pictures, obviously, like the last video I made about the Canon PowerShot A80 with the glitched sensor, that's a whole nother story. But when I'm talking about like actually just like grainy images, I love this Vivitar Vivicam 4100. It's got just this crappy little, it does that same kind of thing as the other one, but it just unveils the puniest little lens. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's a fixed lens, and it says that it's like 4 megapixels, which to me is kind of shocking because I think it's really the lens that makes it so bad. But I love the image. I haven't actually specifically showcased this camera, so if you wanted me to make a video about it, let me know. Another one of the cameras that I carry around if I'm trying to make specifically, really grainy, low poly, not that good images. Well, not that clinically good images are it's this Canon, or I mean it's this Nikon Coolpix 3100, I think. E3100, yep. Super small, cute and bubbly. You can see the stickers I put on. I think I had a couple other eventually, but these have held on pretty well. This little guy, I love the bubbly nature of it all. I love it. And the images are yet again that same amount of like nostalgic, but like grainy goodness. I don't have to do a whole lot to those photos. I can just throw my pre-made LUT over it, and it's pretty great. But I still like to mess around with the image. Recently, a camera that I've taken around with me that surprised me a lot was this Fujifilm A500. It's just a total middle of the spectrum camera. I think it's 5 megapixels. Yeah, 5.1 megapixels. But I yet again was shocked when you use the flash with this camera. It's especially during daylight, it's a force to be reckoned with. Clearly, there's a lot of different utilities and use cases for all types of digital compact point and shoots. And realistically, I think that's what's so fun about the collecting aspect of it all. You can really find a unique trait in almost every Digicam. Obviously, like the last one, there's not a whole lot special about it, and there's a lot of cameras that there's not a whole lot special about it. There is a lot special about all of them if you compare them to the modern cameras. Even if it is just working within limitations and seeing, I build computers, and funny enough, I like to, whenever, especially if I get a bundle of like old computer parts or an old computer and I've got some old DDR3 RAM, a GTX 750 Ti or something to throw in it, I like to see what the limitations are and how I can finagle them to like have a smooth experience, or like see what the best graphical fidelity I can get out of it without crashing, or with the most smooth gameplay. There's just it's just fun to me. So maybe it's not for everybody, but for me, I love testing things out, finding their limitations, and thriving within them. So there's a lot of things you can do nowadays to make these older cameras more modern friendly. I have a couple devices like this mini DVR. I've thought about making a video, but there's a lot of videos already about it. These things in people making like the tapeless camcorders, which is something I love to do. Something I'm doing right now, actually, to this little TV. One little honorable mention, I'd say, for a compact point and shoot. It's not a point and shoot, sure, but for those that are interested in a modern compact camera that isn't like a GoPro, I think this is a fun alternative, especially if you've been watching some of my more recent videos. I have been edging more towards cinematography, filmmaking, showcasing actual cinematic shots you can get from like affordable modern cameras like the G7. But this is one that I've been really wanting to showcase, and I won't tell you everything I did to it, but as you can see, I've modded it slightly. Obviously, this handle is a fun attachment that, funny enough, this handle, I didn't think to mention it. It has, you can see the zoom rocker and the record button and the photo button, and it adjusts where the mount it sets, and it also has a tripod built into this little stand, right? This works with the Sony RX100 that I was talking about. So just plugs right into it. It's not like a Bluetooth handle, but it's incredible. And it also works with this. which this is the Sony RXO2. A little confusing for sure, but it is a compact cinema camera. You may be looking at it thinking you're looking at a GoPro, an action camera, but it does not have any built-in stabilization. It's literally meant to be a cinema camera that you can control all, like you can manually control all the settings. I'm not going to get too into all the details, but you can use S-Log in it. You can do custom picture profiles, and as you can see, you can modify it to where it can take an ND filter, black mist filter, like I like to use, and you can smack this tiny little compact cinema camera in any little tiny corner that you might need an extra camera to fit into, and bada bing, bada boom, you could carry it around with you like a little photo camera, a little video camera, and tell me that's not the smallest footprint you've ever seen for a 4K waterproof cinema camera. I almost just dropped it. Thankfully, it's very rugged. I think it's made of aluminum alloy. Either way, a little honorable mention. If you've made it this far, I seriously appreciate it. I don't know how I've captured your attention for that long. What I'd like to see this year is a lot less iPhones being pulled out to capture memorable moments, and a lot more cameras with SD cards that you can remove, and that isn't sending the photos directly to the cloud to be analyzed and tagged with all. I don't know if you've noticed, like when you go in your gallery, you can just type in like any random like tag, like sky or like face or like nose or guitar, and your gallery on your iPhone or probably on your Android as well. But you can search a tag and it will scour every photo that you've placed into the cloud, and they have made tags. The AI or whatever has placed all the types of tags that you could possibly search up each of these images for. And to me, that's just a little weird. I mean, I had so many photos of my daughter that before I was like fully aware of what was going on here. It sucks because, yeah, I want to send photos and videos back and forth with my wife. This really isn't supposed to be a take the Digicam Red Pill video like one I've been planning on making. But on a brighter note, the Digicam Revival subreddit is almost to 1,000. More subscribers than I have on my channel. So that's interesting. And honestly, I have a lot less returning viewers. So if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed your time. Please give me a comment. Let me know what you're shooting on and what you want to see next.